This is the 2013 season recap. Coach Bob Pecknold's second year at head coach at Wake Forest is in the books, and for the second time in 2 years, the Demon Deacons put together an incredibly memorable season. The climax of this year being the ACC championship after the incredible run through the conference in the regular season, ending with an epic victory against our bitter rival North Carolina Tar Heels. Let's recap this season. Let's go, Deeks. We began the season ranked number 25th in the country, coming off of the incredible season last year, which ended in a Rose Bowl victory over Iowa. We were predicted to finish third in the ACC Atlantic Division. We began the year at home against the Toledo Rockets, and we started off this season with a bang against Toledo, taking a quick lead. Thad Myrick to Cookie Wallace, 18-yard touchdown pass for the first points of the season for us. Bryson Dodds got into the end zone to give us a 14-0 lead after one, adding another touchdown here in the second quarter. Toledo got better and actually had a really good year, but they did not have a strong start, looking really sloppy in this one, suffering a safety at the end of the first half. Then a pick six by Ronald Burton. We ran away with this one. Toledo was able to get in the end zone a couple of times, and once in the third and once in the fourth really late. But we blew out the Rockets 51-41 to start the season. Next, we had a tougher test on the road at Arkansas, a team about where we were in the national rankings, and this was a really good fight here. Arkansas started off 7-0 lead with this 25-yard run by White. We cut it down to 7-3 after the first quarter, but then Arkansas started to get some separation, a 4-yard touchdown pass, and then a pick six off of a tip. Arkansas had a 21-3 lead here at home and all the momentum. But we responded, a huge pass here, Thad Myrick to Lester Wood for 77 yards. Really needed that one, helped us get back in the game. And Scotty Ross gets a 21-yard reception for a TD to help us pull closer. At halftime, it was a 28-17 Razorback lead, but the third quarter was all ours. Fighting back with a 38-yard touchdown pass, Era Fields, then Mansfield getting in the end zone on the ground. A long bomb touchdown pass to Cookie Wallace for 50 yards. Had success with a 2-point conversion there to give us a solid 9-point lead. That was big as Arkansas was able to get into the end zone in the fourth. Didn't have enough, weren't close enough to be able to tie things up. They had to kick the extra point, and we were able to hold on that final score, 37-35, to 2-0. Then we were on the road at Northwestern, the Wildcats, expecting this one to be a tough game, and it sure was. We got on the board first here, 7-0 lead with a touchdown pass to Calhoun from Myrick, but Northwestern dominating the second quarter early on, getting in the end zone, a 15-yard pass from Ryan to Washington, and another pass here, this one to Jackson, and Ryan tucking it under and running for a touchdown here late in the first half, 21-7 Wildcats at halftime. We showed heart, fighting back here in the second half. Mansfield getting in the end zone. But Northwestern scoring the next 14 points. Touchdown here in the fourth quarter to give them a 21-point lead. We gave it everything we had, trying to fight and scratch our way back in here in the fourth quarter. Touchdown pass to Calhoun and then to Cookie Wallace. But we were not able to get it done in the end. Came up short, and then Northwestern adding this long 48-yard touchdown run to seal the deal. Wildcats handing us our first loss of the season, 42-28. Then we were on the road at Miami. Miami, the defending ACC champions, our ACC opener, a huge matchup here, and we absolutely brought it. What a game we played. Miami was close with us. We didn't feel like we were overpowering them until maybe the second half we started to pull away. But 36-yard touchdown pass, Thad Myrick to Lester Wood in the first quarter gives us a 7-0 lead. We were playing aggressively here after a touchdown to Fields. Went for two, 15-0. Miami responded, a long touchdown pass, Mangum to Sampson. But that was the only points the Hurricanes were able to score. Big time touchdown pass here, Myrick to Lester Wood. We had a 22-7 lead at the half. Then this huge return fumble to Cody Kieran, taking it back 64 yards. That definitely felt like the dagger, and Miami didn't put up much of a fight. Then it seemed like we were able to get into the end zone a couple more times. The Hurricanes offense got nothing going. A huge victory for us, bouncing back after the loss, 43-7 at the defending ACC champs. Then we had a bye week in week 5. Then we hosted the Florida State Seminoles. Florida State had high expectations entering the season, and this was a very tough contest. The Seminoles getting a couple field goals in the first quarter, 6-0 lead. Then they extended it here with a touchdown pass, Wheeler to McCray, 13-0 Florida State on the road. We responded big time here in the second quarter. Long touchdown pass to Cookie Wallace, then Jackson Cody with a pick 6. Just like that, we were in the lead. We extended a bit here with a touchdown pass to Fields. Florida State added a field goal. We had a 21-16 lead at the half. Eric Fields, a huge punt return, 50 yards, taking it back to the house to extend our lead. Then we got in the end zone again with a 19-yard pass to help us pull away in this one. Florida State tried to come back here, got themselves within 12. So that would be all they can get. 35-23 the final score. Nice victory for us as we go to 2-0 in conference play. Hosting the Pitt Panthers. It's an epic game against Pitt last season. This was a really tough fight as well. Started off with a 1-yard run by Bryson Dodds to get us in the end zone. Florida State cut it to 7-3 after 1. Having some success in the air. A couple touchdown passes from Thad Myrick in the second quarter for us. Florida State gets a field goal and then a touchdown drive late to make it a 21-13 game at halftime. Pitt coming out here quickly, getting a 58-yard touchdown run. They looked to tie it up with a 2-point conversion, but failed. We kept a 2-point lead. We just stayed one step ahead of Pitt, scoring a touchdown. They responded, but they can never quite catch up. And then pulling away a bit here, the 16-yard touchdown pass from Thad Myrick to Cookie Wallace, and the extra point gave us a 9-point lead. That would be the final, 42-33 over Pitt. Huge game here, hosting NC State. This was the one that we had circled on the schedule, if any. Wolfpack defeated us by a blowout last season in a crucial game. So this was, again, a crucial game as well in the ACC Atlantic race. And what a great game this was. NC State took a 7-0 lead in the first quarter after a 37-yard run by Callahan. We fought back in the second quarter. Bryson Dodds getting 2 quick touchdowns here to give us a lead. NC State responding, touchdown pass from Perry to Sproles. Then we get a very late touchdown, very exciting play here. Actually, I misspoke. This is kind of messed up. Dodds didn't. He only got in the end zone once. This is a miss. Yeah, this is an error in the score sheet. He got in the end zone once there. This pass to Scotty Ross from Thad Myrick tied things up at the half, 14-14. NC State got a field goal in the third quarter, just shy of 50 yards. Big kick by Bowman to give the Wolfpack the lead. It stayed that score for a while. Then in the fourth, just an instant classic play. This will be replayed for a while. Thad Myrick chased Burgess from the fullback angle, going deep, 44 yards. That ended up being the game winner as we were able to get a late interception to seal the deal. 21-17, a massive victory over the Wolfpack. Then on the road against Duke, second straight rivalry game. Taking on the Blue Devils, a long winning streak over Duke in our history. This was a high-scoring game. First quarter, 17 points each. A lot of action in this one early on. A long run from Duke, pick 6 from us, touchdown passes both sides. Second quarter, we were able to take the lead late with a 14-yard touchdown pass Thad Myrick to Cookie Wallace. So we had a touchdown lead at the half. We were able to extend it with a touchdown run from Dodds. Duke trying to fight back, but we were able to stay a step ahead of them. Touchdown pass here from Myrick to Ross was the dagger. Duke tried to fight back, but we Had too much in the end, 52-38, the final score. And hosting the Maryland Terrapins, game against Maryland last season, an absolute epic 3-overtime classic after a big comeback from us. Maryland started out here strong, 7-0 early, coming out right out of the gates, striking first. It was that score at the end of the first quarter. The second quarter, we really took control of this, starting with a big defensive play, forcing a safety. 3 touchdowns late in the first half for us. Both touchdown passes to Cookie Walls and then Bryson Dart punching it in at the end of the first half. 21-7 at halftime. Another safety forced in the third quarter. Maryland's offense could get nothing going in the second half. Field goal added by Walker in the fourth. 26-7 was the final score. Then hosting Virginia. Virginia defeated us last season. We were hoping to get some revenge at home against the Cavaliers. Did not work out that way. Virginia started out strong, got themselves a quick 10-0 lead in the first quarter. We were able to cut it down to 10-3 at the end of the first. But once again, the Cavaliers outscoring us 10-3 in the second quarter. Touchdown run by Coleman, exchanging field goals. Virginia was up 20-6 at halftime. We tried to fight back everything we could, got a really strong push here in the third quarter. Long touchdown pass to Lester Wood, and a long run from Myrick. Huge pick six from Barrett gave us the lead here. But Virginia responding right away. The lead did not last long at all. 75-yard touchdown pass to Williams. Virginia got the lead back late in the third quarter. And they kept the lead the rest of the game. Fourth quarter, adding another touchdown here with a pass to Fern. Gave it everything we had. This pick six, though, was the dagger. Hand taking it back to the house. Fought till the very, very end. Weaver had to come in off the bench and was able to get a touchdown pass really late, but we never saw the ball again. 44-37 loss, second loss of the season. That put everything on the line for this matchup at Clemson. The winner of this game would win the ACC Atlantic Division and go to the ACC Championship game. Everything on the line here, and what an epic game it was. An instant classic. Clemson striking first, a 70-yard run from Roberts, giving a 7-0 lead. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, strong performance out of us. 2 touchdown passes from Thad Myrick, 1 to Childress, 1 to Fields. A 14-7 lead at halftime. No scoring in the third quarter. Defense is playing very well. Clemson was able to tie things up in the fourth. Things getting very, very tense at the end of the fourth quarter and into overtime. Clemson got the ball first in overtime, but a huge interception by Broussard stopped Clemson. 0 points in their turn. We just needed a field goal to win it. Ran it a few times, landed Walker down the 24-yard field goal to send us to the ACC Championship game. We finished off the regular season on the road at Boston College. Boston College not having a strong season. They were hoping to finish things off on a high note. We came out very strong. A great run here from Goolsby, 80 yards. Myrick threw a touchdown pass in the first quarter. Then we got him out of the game, got him some rest. Riley Weaver came back in. He threw a couple touchdown passes. It was 21-0 at halftime. We made it 28-0 here in the third quarter. Looked like we were going to run away with it. But Boston College showed some real heart here, getting on the board late in the third quarter, making it 28-3. And then in the fourth quarter, we're putting together a real strong push. Some touchdown passes from Shelby. A couple lucky bounces. They got a couple onside kicks. They pulled within a touchdown at the end, but we were able to hang on. We pulled our starters originally, had to put them back in. Boston College making it real close at the end. But that's how the regular season ended. We had a 10-2 record at the end of the regular season, and a trip to the ACC Championship awaited us against the North Carolina Tar Heels, our bitter rival. North Carolina was favored entering this game. They were in the national championship picture for much of the season. A late loss from them to the Wolfpack dropped them a bit, but a huge matchup here. Two rivals, both desperately wanting to hoist the ACC championship, and this is a game that will be replayed in ACC folklore for a long, long time. A strong start here for us, getting on the board, North Carolina responding back and forth. There were a lot of big plays, a big redemption play by Thad Myrick, forcing a fumble right after throwing an interception, preventing North Carolina from getting the ball, like almost surely being able to take the lead. We were able to get on the board in the second quarter a couple more times. A 10-7 lead at halftime. North Carolina came on strong in the third quarter. After exchanging field goals, the Tar Heels got themselves a couple quick touchdown passes and turnover in between them. Tar Heels took the lead entering the fourth quarter. We were trailing. We responded big time. Big touchdown pass that marked Cookie Wallace. Gave us the lead by a field goal. The Tar Heels drove right down the field. We were able to keep them out of the end zone, force them to kick a field goal and tie things up. Epic conclusion of this one, ending with a 20-yard touchdown pass to Joseph Childress. Gave us a 7-point lead. The Tar Heels drove right back down the field, almost got into the end zone on a long run. We were able to chase them down, then almost got into the end zone on the very final play. Had a chance, but the receiver, Rose, was not able to make the catch that was going to almost surely put them in the end zone. He would have had like a yard to go, but he definitely had space, not able to make the catch. And we were able to hang on with an epic 34-27 victory to win the ACC championship. That was definitely our dream at the start of the season. We were able to accomplish it. ACC champions for just the third time in program history, the second ACC championship victory. And that was the dream at the start of the season. I tried to get a bonus here, win the Orange Bowl for the first time ever. That was our hope. Just had our first BCS Bowl victory last season with the Rose Bowl win. We took on Wisconsin. Wisconsin had just lost in the Big Ten championship. They were in the national championship picture till then. No guarantee they would have made it if they won. I think Oregon would have made it either way. But no recap like visually on this, but this was a great football game. Wisconsin got out to a quick 14-0 lead. The Badgers, they just seemed like the better team, more talented team. You could really see that, but we fought with everything we had to try to get back into this one. A lot of crazy plays to keep us in this. We just fell short in the end. 45-38 loss in the Orange Bowl is how the season will end. But certainly nothing to hang our heads about. We are the ACC champions. Dream came true. We win the title. Here's a look at the final standings. Conference champions. Here we go, third-time program history, first since the 2006 season, finishing atop of the ACC. North Carolina falling short in the championship game. TCU winning the Big 12 championship, a great 12-1 season out of the Horned Frogs. Big East championship won by the Connecticut Huskies. Great year from them, 10-3 record. Big Ten championship is won by the Nebraska Cornhuskers, defeating Wisconsin in the Big Ten title game. A 12-1 season, great year from Nebraska. Conference USA championship goes to the ECU Pirates. A big win there from the Pirates in the title game over SMU. Look at the Independents. One of the strongest here from Notre Dame. The MAC championship was won by Toledo. Toledo did not look good early in the year. We blew them out opening week, but they put together a strong season. 9-5 record. MAC champions. Mountain West champions. The Fresno State Bulldogs. A very exciting year from the Mountain West. A couple teams very highly ranked. First year Mountain West had a championship game. Very exciting season. The Bulldogs finished with an 11-2 record, Mountain West champions. The Pac-12 champions, the Oregon Ducks. Oregon finishes with a 12-2 record, defeating the Utah Utes in the Pac-12 championship game. SEC champions, once again, the Alabama Crimson Tide, 14-0 season, winning the SEC and the national championship, defeating Georgia in the SEC title game. Sun Belt champion, North Texas, congratulations to the Mean Green 8-5 season, Sun Belt champs. The WAC champions is the San Jose State Spartans with an 8-5 overall record. WAC 6 teams in it, San Jose State. Congratulations to them. So there we go. That is a look at conference champions. Now we'll take a look at the bowl results. Virginia victory in the Independence Bowl over San Diego State. Clemson blowing out Cincinnati. NC State, close victory over Arkansas. Miami losing to Washington. North Carolina blowing out South Carolina to finish their year Chick-fil-A Bowl. Loss in the Orange Bowl for us, 45-38 against Wisconsin. TCU blowing out Connecticut in the Fiesta Bowl. Georgia, a close win over Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Nebraska getting the victory over BYU in the Rose Bowl. Utah defeating Fresno State in the Sugar Bowl. Georgia. And the national championship goes once again to the Alabama Crimson Tide for the third straight season, fourth time in the past 5 years. Alabama, right out of the gates, 24-0, defeating the Ducks in the first quarter. A touchdown pass, field goal, pick six, touchdown run from Smith. A touchdown pass here in the second quarter made it 31-0 Alabama. Oregon was able to get on the board last play of the first half with a field goal. Alabama adding another touchdown in the third. Oregon getting on the board a couple times in the fourth to make it a bit more respectable, but this was a no contest. Alabama adds a field goal, 41-17, the final score. Alabama was just head and shoulders above everyone else in the nation, it seemed, as they win the national championship. Once again, no surprise there. Here's a look at the final rankings. Alabama, of course, number 1. What a season it was from the Crimson Tide. Dominating most of their games. A couple close ones, but no contest in the national championship. Nebraska's going to finish the year number 2. Only loss coming at Illinois. 12-1 record. Some really nice victories finishing up the season. Big Ten championship and a Rose Bowl win over BYU. TCU finishes the season number 3, a 12-1 record. Only loss in overtime at LSU very early on in the year. They ran the table since then, defeating UConn for a nice BCS victory. Utah finishes number 4 with a 12-2 record. Solid win from them. Nice wins over USC, Stanford. Losing at Oregon. Losing at Stanford, and then losing to Oregon. Pac-12 championship. Getting an overtime victory over Fresno State. Nice win for them to end their season. Oregon, number 5. Only lost the regular season to Utah. Then got revenge of them in the Pac-12 championship. Oregon definitely deserved to be in the national championship. A lot of ranked victories, and then got revenge on their only loss. Big win in the Pac-12 title game. They were just no match for the Crimson Tide. Wisconsin will finish number 6. Losses to LSU and to Nebraska. Big wins there through their Pac-10 season. Their Big Ten season. And then the victory over us in the Orange Bowl to finish 11-2. Fresno State, incredible season from the Bulldogs. They finished number 7. Only lost to BYU. They gotta wonder what if they were able to get that victory. Could they have got into the number 2 spot? Big wins, or a big one over Boise State and Nevada. A heartbreaking loss in overtime to Utah to end their season. USC finishes number 8 with an 11-2 record. Some close wins, heartbreaking losses to Utah and Stanford. Definitely had a solid season. Nice win against UCLA and at Notre Dame. Finishing off things with an easy victory in their bowl game against Oklahoma State. BYU, heartbreaking end to an incredible season for BYU. 12-0 to start things off. Big wins over Boise State, Fresno State, and Houston. Chance to get into the national championship game, perhaps. And that goes out the window as they are defeated by Fresno State in the rematch 37-14. And then losing in the Rose Bowl to Nebraska 38-17. Still an incredible season from the Cougars, but not the way they wanted it to end. Stanford finishes number 10, an 11-2 season. Lost early on to Oregon, but a great year. Big wins over Utah, USC, lost to Notre Dame, but a great way to finish off the season against Oklahoma. 11-2 record, great season for Stanford. That's the top 10. Here's the rest of the top 25. North Carolina, 11-2. They finished number 11, the highest ranked ACC team. NC State, number 13. There we are at number 17. Clemson finishing in the top 25. What an incredible season it was. Let's take a look at player stats here. Thad Myrick, our main QB this year. Look at his work. Riley Weaver also got some playing time. Tyree Garrison, very seldom. Thad Myrick breaking records for us. 38 touchdown passes, 15 INTs, 3,900 yards. Incredible season from him. Riley Weaver, 3 touchdowns. Picks. Bryson Dodds, great year from the senior, over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns, 224 attempts. Jasper Gould is the second guy. Xavier Mansfield injured, knocked out the rest of the season. Tough loss from him. Receiving wise, Airfield, senior, great season, just shy of 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns on 61 catches. Lester Wood, leading in terms of yardage. Great year from him. Solid year from Cookie Walsh as well. Grayson Dodds receiving one, the senior. Joseph Childress, great season from him. Scotty Ross, the freshman, great year from him. Francis Baxter, 1 touchdown reception. It was a big one. Exciting one. Talking about shoot more playing time coming up. The blocking stats. Then defensively, Henry Reese, the junior, all over the field, leading in tackles for us. Great year from him. Cody Ripley Porter, Jordan Barrett, Cody Keeney, Jerome Broussard. These guys, great seasons. A lot of really strong plays all around. 2 touchdowns from Ronald Burton. Jordan Lucas with 6 INTs. And there's the rest of quick run through the rest of these stats for all players with defensive stats. Denmark, 3 tackles, 1 huge tackle that forced a fumble against North Carolina. Defensive. Here's kicking stats. Landon Walker, the freshman, 13 of 15, 86%. Long was 48. Perfect on extra points. Very solid season from him kicking wise. as well as punting wise, 41 attempts, or just shy of 1,800 total yards, 43.6 average, 20 times inside the 20, 15 times inside the 20. Apologize. Chester Kelly became our primary kick returner after Xavier Mansfield was knocked out. 20 returns, along with 43. Airfields, 25 punt returns, 200 total yards, and a big punt return for a touchdown, 50 yards. Yep. That is it. An incredible season, incredible 2013 season comes to a close. Second year of Coach Bob Pecknold, head coach at Wake Forest, comes to an end. But what an incredible year it was. Ending with a bit of a sour note, but we achieved our dream. We are ACC champions. That's what this year will be remembered for. And that incredible run through the Atlantic Division, those epic wins against NC State and Clemson, and that epic victory against North Carolina, our bitter rival in the ACC title game. What a year it was. Go Deeks!